Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a third grocery review. Today we're going to Aldi. First, we're going to do the deep dive and then we'll actually go to Aldi to see how their packaging lines up and then we'll come back here for my final thoughts. So this video series is inspired by Shelbizzle's grocery series, but I do it a little differently. Instead of going to the store and seeking out zero waste options, I take my grocery list and see if I can get it as zero waste as possible in terms of recyclability, package free, or compostability. And then we will rate all three grocery stores head to head at the very end. Let me know which grocery store is your favorite down below and let me know which grocery store I should review next. But for now, let's get into the deep dive. Page, Aldi's corporate page, corporate sustainability. At Aldi, we care deeply about our people, our communities, and our responsibility to the environment. Every decision we make comes down to customer and employee safety, health and well-being, and product and production sustainability. That felt all over the place to me. They have a progress report, climate and energy, supply chain, impact stories, community, and environment. Let's first do climate and energy. Have to say, I do really like Kroger's sustainability support in comparison because Kroger had it all in one gigantic document. Refrigeration goals. We're paving the way for the US market to adopt low emission refrigeration systems. Over 590 stores use refrigerants that have near zero global warming potential. Just because the refrigerant, like the chemical that helps keep it cold, isn't affecting the environment doesn't mean that the energy side isn't, which I'm sure we'll get into. Are they using green energy for all of their stores? I doubt it. Hopefully we'll find out. Our natural refrigerants reduce the impact of a leak by up to 4,000 times. We have the most green chill certified stores of any other food retail company. Do carbon footprint. Big steps toward a smaller carbon footprint. Brightly.eco ranked Aldi as the #1 most sustainable grocery retailer. Okay, cool. Brightly.eco is just a blog. It's just a social platform. They don't have any credentials, any certifications, authorities. Cool to be ranked highly amongst an eco blog, but that's the first thing that they have to say on their carbon footprint page. I don't love that. Next, our EPA Green Chill partnership focuses on adopting green technologies to reduce our carbon footprint. And in 2021, the Aldi South Group reported an absolute carbon footprint reduction of 54% since 2016. That's a really great reduction. I think Kroger's was pretty similar. Over the course of 7 or so years, they've reduced their impact by about 50%. But also in comparison to Kroger here, Kroger had so much more data and Aldi really doesn't. This is all they have to say about carbon footprint. Genuinely upset about this because I, like Brightly.eco has said, and other influencers, Aldi is ranked pretty highly amongst eco influencers. And I was always confused why. As an Aldi shopper, I was like, this store seems so unsustainable to me. They don't have really any data on here. Like, yeah, cool, you've reduced your emissions by 54%, but how? Working to build renewable infrastructure, we are procuring 100% renewable electricity through renewable energy credits. What does that mean? I have no idea because I don't elaborate. We have solar panels at over 170 stores at 12 distribution centers nationwide with more to come. Let's see how many stores they have in total. 2,362. Let's take a percentage. That's not even 10%. 7% of their stores? Better than nothing. It screams greenwashing, right? And this is a very key component of greenwashing, which you can learn more about in this video and my free guide to spotting greenwashing, is stores using big picture statistics. Like, how great, we have solar panels on 170 of our stores. They don't include the big picture. They don't include that that's only 7% of their stores. They also don't expand on if those stores are 100% running exclusively on solar energy, or is it like 50% solar, 50% fossil fuels? We don't know because they don't elaborate. Green flag, red flag, greenwashing. In this last one, the EPA's Green Power Partnership recognized Aldi US as a national top 100 partner in 2020 and 2021. I have no idea what that is. This is from the EPA. They established the GPP in 2001 to encourage organizations to use green power voluntarily to protect human health and the environment. Goals of the GPP are to advance the American market for green power and encourage the development of new US-based renewable electricity resources. So it's essentially the EPA saying, if you voluntarily use green energy, we're going to recognize you. Let's also look up what renewable energy credits are. I'm so upset that they do not elaborate on any of this stuff. So according to the EPA, a renewable energy certificate called REC is a market-based instrument that represents the property rights to the environmental, social, and other non-power attributes of renewable electricity generation. RECs are issued when 1 megawatt hour of electricity is generated. So basically their role is accounting, tracking, and assigning ownership to renewable electricity generation and use on a shared grid. Okay, so it's a shared grid and Aldi basically is saying, we want to be part of that grid. This sentence again, we're procuring 100% renewable electricity through renewable energy credits. Does that mean that they as a franchise are running exclusively off of 100% solar energy or renewable energy? Or does it mean all of their renewable energy is through the renewable energy credits? Basically that's saying like they use 100% renewable energy, or the renewable energy that they are using, not 100%, through this renewable energy credits program through the EPA. I'm willing to bet it's number 2 based off of the other statistics here, but again, they simply don't elaborate, so know I have to be making assumptions. This is architecture sustainability, building sustainability, working to reduce the environmental impact of our stores. We've incorporated all LED lighting and energy efficient HVAC and refrigeration systems since 2015. Our new and remodeled stores use environmentally friendly building materials. What does that mean? Right? I can't click on any of this. Like, what does that mean? Are they sourcing like recycled cement? Are they sourcing bioplastics? Are they like, what are they doing? I have no idea. Since 2015, we've had the energy management systems such as lighting and HVAC controls in our stores. That's the same thing as the first one. They repeated the same thing twice. And then they bring up refrigeration again, which I would agree. In a grocery store, refrigeration is probably one of the biggest environmental footprints, but that's it. I feel like I learned nothing. I probably could have assumed all of that. We got 8 things to look through. First is packaging. And I think this is the biggest thing that people think of when they think of Aldi. They think that Aldi must be ultra sustainable because they don't use any disposable bags. 100% encourage people to use reusable bags, and they've been doing this since the dawn of time, since the dawn of Aldi time. And I think that has been absolutely fantastic of them to do since the get-go. Packaging goals. Advance towards a circular economy through packaging. Cool. By 2025, 100% of packaging will have reusable, recyclable, or compostable packaging. That's a weird sentence. 100% of packaging will have reusable packaging. Did somebody edit this? By 2025, product packaging materials will be reduced by at least 15%. I think that's a really good statistic that Kroger never mentioned in theirs. Instead of just focusing on taking this and making it recyclable, reusable, or compostable, taking this and making it smaller to reduce the overall footprint. Because who cares if this giant piece of plastic is recyclable? It still takes a great amount of energy and resources to create that said piece of plastic, when instead you could cut the size in half, and now you're effectively reducing your emissions in half by cutting your packaging size in half. And then also by 2025, plastic packaging will use 20% post-consumer recycled content on average. They are partners with the Sustainable Packaging Coalition, How to Recycle, Food Industry Association, and U.S. Plastics Pack. Okay, I like this. I don't know if this is available in their stores, but it's really cool that this is on their website. Common packaging misconceptions, talking about the recycling symbol versus the resin identification code, which is those numbers that you see on the bottom of a plastic bag or a plastic bottle. This does not mean a packaging is recyclable. It just means how it will be recycled if it makes it to that step of being recycled. Waste and recovery. Their goals here are to reduce the amount of waste we generate and recycling more to help achieve our goals. By 2025, we will achieve zero waste in operations through recycling, donation, and organic recycling, which is composting. 2025, they want to be truly zero waste. But that's a pretty hefty goal. That's next year. 100%. I hope that they get there. By 2030, we aim to reduce food waste by 50%. That's not a great number, particularly because Kroger has already done that. I know I shouldn't be comparing them, but I have to. That's part of this series, is comparing them all. And Kroger's goal was to reduce their food waste total by 90% by 2025. So this seems like a pretty small goal. Again, any reduction in food waste is great. Food waste is one of the most pollutive things that we do as humans. So I'd like to see that higher. Maybe they'll surpass the goal. Maybe that was their baseline and they are just absolutely going to shoot for the moon anyway. We'll see. And then their last goal, which isn't a goal, it's just a statistic, is through our partnership with Feeding America, we donated over 33 million pounds of food in 2021. Here's a bit about waste prevention, particularly with packaging, that their stores are typically much smaller than regular grocery retailers, meaning that it takes less energy to operate them, as well as they don't stock as many items, which ultimately does reduce food waste as well, because they're not stocking every single product that's ever been in existence. And of course, encouraging people, honestly, mandating people bring their own reusable bags. No, Aldi. They're doing it too. That's why you read the fine print, people. By 2025, we will achieve zero waste in operations by diverting 90% of our waste from landfill through recycling, donation, and composting. That's not the definition of zero waste. Why are all these grocery stores doing this? We're gonna keep the next few categories quick. Deforestation. 100% of our fresh and frozen beef is sourced deforestation free. By the end of 2025, conversion to RSPO certified derivatives and fractions for all non-food products. By next year, they want to use 100% Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil RSPO certified palm oil, which does sort of reduce deforestation. If you want to learn more about all these certifications like RSPO, you can check out this video. 100% of everyday items made with wood or pulp components are certified from well-managed forest. Basically, they're just saying they're going to make sure everything is part of the Sustainable Forestry Initiative, FSC certified, or RSPO certified. Fish and seafood. Our goal is to eliminate overfishing, bycatch, and ecosystem disruption in our supply chain by 2030. We are expanding our commitments to include products containing fish and seafood ingredients. We publicly disclose our wild-caught fisheries annually with the Ocean Disclosure Project, and we partner with SFP, don't know who that is, to collect and store seafood data for each step of our supply chain. And then they partner with, a ton of like fishing. I'm not personally well versed in sustainable fishing, but I do know that bycatch and overfishing kind of hard to avoid in like commercial situations. So unless they're sourcing like from small fishermen, I'm not really sure how they're going to bypass that. Once again, vague. Moving on to coffee and cocoa. I like this. Kroger did not touch on this, and this is something that's very important because these are some of the highest industries that are unethical and unsustainable. So their goal is to 100% of their Simply Nature branded coffee products come from certified sources. All of our exclusive Aldi brand chocolate bars and confectionery are certified source. This is not a goal. They're confusing goals and statistics. We're the second largest private label purchaser of Fairtrade USA coffee. But once again, similar to Kroger, this is Aldi brand. They're going to be selling other products in their store. So this doesn't mean that 100% of chocolate and 100% of coffee in their stores as like, you know, FSC, Fairtrade, Rainforest Alliance certified. It just means that Aldi brand or will be in the future. So that's more focused on like ethical farming and not so much environmental. For cotton, all cotton used for private label products will be either recycled or from a certified source. We will use 100% responsibly sourced cotton for our own brand garments and household textiles by 2025, and we will use certification bodies that promote social and environmental standards. Pretty vague, but they are partnering with Investing in Better Cotton. I've never heard of that one. Aid by Trade, never heard of that either, but they also do Fair Trade and GOTS, Global Organic Textile Standard, and just Organic Content Standard, OCS. They do have an animal welfare page. Here's just a screenshot of what they're doing for animal welfare. I really am curious about these animal welfare certifications. How do they ensure animal welfare? I'm not really sure. But ultimately, if they are sourcing from factory farms, even in the most humane factory farms, it's still pretty inhumane. And then they also have, what is this, like 4 sentences about pollinators. At Aldi, we want to make sure the way we do business supports our communities, our people, and our world. We recognize the importance of pollinating species to our food supply and the colony health, and that colony health is essential. Further support the pollinator population, particularly honeybees, we've considered the views of various stakeholders, including technical experts, academics, industry organizations, suppliers, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. In fact, we've established a pollinator policy, and then this pollinator policy has 5 bullet points. I'll just put them right here for you. I think it really just boils down to organic. That is all that Aldi has to say about climate, energy, and environment. We do have an annual sustainability progress report. Let's look at the 2022 highlight. Oh, this is only 7 pages. Again, Kroger's was like 80 pages. Progress in packaging. Last year, we announced our commitment to eliminate all plastic shopping bags from our stores by the end of 2023. We also increased the recyclability of our packaging, so more than 75% of Aldi exclusive packaging is now reusable, recyclable, or compostable. So 70% of Aldi brand is recyclable, reusable, or compostable, which is good, but that again does not include any other brands that they supply in their stores. Okay, so they do expand on the energy thing, the green energy thing. Continue to purchase green electricity to cover 100% of our energy consumption. So while they have 170 stores with solar panels on the roof, the other stores seem to be 100% running off of renewable energy through the EPA system. That's what this makes it sound like, at least. Beyond the bin, we donated over 32 million pounds of food throughout our partnership with Feeding America and over 152,000 pounds of non-food products through our partnership with Good 360. Also, nearly 50 tons of plastic removed from pasta boxes by eliminating the clear plastic window. That's crazy. Just that little plastic window on pasta boxes, 50 tons of plastic. That's crazy. Okay, here's some more about waste. They have diverted 76% of operational waste company-wide. Recycled, reused, or donated over 385,000 tons of material that would have otherwise gone to the landfill. Composted 1,600 tons of food between the Aldi test kitchen and select stores. So not all of their stores compost, which is probably why their food waste goal is pretty low. They've avoided generating nearly 235 tons of paper by installing electronic shelf labels and optimizing our weekly print program to encourage customers to view ads online. Cool. Because the rest of this really was just about, you know, the deforestation, the fishing, the coffee that we already talked about, and was already very vague on the website. It really did not expand on it in here. I think they have some great goals. I think they are moving in the right direction, and I think they truly are one of the leaders in sustainability because they have done the bag thing forever. Something I hate about Aldi though, as a shopper, is their produce section, and we'll see if my local Aldi here does it, but the Aldi that I shopped at one time in Inglewood, I hated it because I needed 1 avocado, 1 lime, and 1 jalapeno to make guacamole. But guess what? I had to buy a bag of 10 limes, a bag of 10 jalapenos, and a bag of 6 avocados. That was the only option. They didn't have any loose single produce. This makes it great for families. I think Aldi is a great place to shop for families because you can buy in bulk. You have to buy in bulk, but it's not a great place to shop for individuals or like couples or even small families. As well as I'm really curious to see what they do with their packaging because their goal is next year to make their packaging fully recyclable, reusable, or compostable. I'm sure it's similar to Kroger. I'm sure that they assume that thin plastics equal recyclable because technically they can be recycled. Do they offer in-store recycling programs? I don't know. They didn't expand on it because a lot of their produce that you are forced to buy in bulk also comes in thin, not recyclable plastics. Who owns. Is that where it gets its name? Albrecht Discounts, a German company. If you didn't know, they're German. Started in Germany in 1948. This guy said, World War II is over. Our country is a mess. I'm gonna start a grocery store. It's still owned by the Albrecht brothers, but it is family owned, so I do really like that about Aldi. In 2022, they profited $218 million, which is crazy because Kroger, it was several billion. To really just show you the scale of who we're talking about, right? Like, I can critique Aldi all day long, but at the end of the day, a fraction of the stores with a fraction of the profits, with a fraction of the electricity use and so forth, they're simply not comparable, Kroger and Aldi. They're simply not. A multi-billion-dollar company versus a multi-million-dollar company. A corporation that's nearly a monopoly versus a family-owned grocery store. They're simply not comparable. So I'm probably being a little bit harsh on Aldi because like Kroger had some bigger and better goals, but Aldi just doesn't have the resources for that. And I still think they're moving in the right direction. I didn't do any research about Meijer, the first brand in this category, but right now between the three, Meijer is my favorite just because of their produce section. Like that's really what it comes down to. I think Meijer and Aldi are pretty close. And there's different pros and cons, but I just really can't get over their packaging, their produce packaging and making people buy in bulk, which can create food waste. Aldi, it's giving greenwashing. It is in some of their areas. Some of their areas are very greenwashy. They have some good goals. I think they're moving in the right direction. And I think like from the get-go, they've always had sustainability in mind, which is important. It will take them less effort to reduce our waste than it would for somebody like Kroger, who was never focused on sustainability, and now it's a big push to be focused on sustainability. Enough jib-jabbering, enough gabbing. Let's actually go to Aldi and see if I can get my grocery list zero waste. I'll see you at Aldi. If there's anything that I hate more than going to a new grocery store and being overwhelmed that I don't know where everything is, it's going to the grocery store on a rainy day. The good news is I don't have a lot to get this week, so it should be pretty quick in and out. So there's one thing that I'm anticipating not liking about Aldi for personal and environmental reasons, and that is that Aldi really just carries food stuff. I think they carry like a little bit of toiletries, but for example, we need dog food today. So I'm going to have to make another trip to another store to get dog food. And then I also need cotton swabs, and I don't know if I can find those at Aldi either. I haven't been to Aldi in years, so I'm not really sure what to expect. Potato, but they only sell like 5-pound bags. There's one loose potato. I don't know if it's legal, but I'm gonna take it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find coconut milk. They only have a Hispanic section, maybe in the milk, but I'm also not seeing any vegan options so far, so that sucks. I need yogurt. I might have to go to Kroger anyway. I'm pretty disappointed, not gonna lie. The only vegan protein, cheese, or dairy option I found was tofu. I didn't find any plant milk, any plant yogurt, not a single dairy-free option. That's pretty upsetting. If it was just one thing, I would just leave it for this week, but I need cream cheese, yogurt, dog food, hummus, and coconut milk. And like, I can see the vegan yogurt and cream cheese, but they don't even have a hummus or coconut milk. All right, we're back from Aldi. Let's see what we found. My first critique, and I know I already said it, I was really frustrated that I couldn't get everything at Aldi. So what I have to say about that is that Aldi is a great place for staples. A little bit of produce, a little bit of dairy, a little bit of meat. That's basically what I'm getting at. There's like a little bit of everything, especially since the only vegan alternative in the entire store that I found was tofu, but I'm talking like not a single plant-based meat, cheese, dairy option at all. Not even a plant milk. Let's see. Mochi. Oh my gosh. For the zero waste aspect of the stuff that they actually had in their store, I wasn't terribly impressed, and I already knew this going in with their produce specifically. Their produce is so difficult to get anything package free or anything not in bulk. I was able to find a few things. I think they had loose tomatoes, loose avocados, There was one more thing that I found, maybe it was peppers, I was pretty impressed with, but like that's 3. Thankfully, someone lost a potato, and that single potato, the guy at the register just let me have it, because you can literally only buy 10 pounds of potatoes. I understand Aldi. I understand that I understand it's a small family-owned business. Their focus is on staples and keeping their stores small. Now, we as the consumers have to drive around to all these different stores. When these big giant stores like Meijer, Kroger, Walmart might seem big and excessive, but it really is a one-stop shop. So it is reducing driving on the consumer part. It's also going to be difficult to compare the price because I was only going in buying one meal, and then I also wasn't even able to find everything. I mean, even if I multiply it by 3, right? If a second meal plus the items that I wasn't even able to find, I think I only spent $33 at Aldi. So $99 total. That's still cheaper than Meijer and Kroger, which is good. So if you're looking for staples, if you're shopping for a large family and you need 10 pounds of potatoes and you need 17 jalapenos, for you can get it at a good price. Wow, the most expensive thing that I got was mushrooms for $4.40. Even their blackberries and raspberries were only $2.50. 10 pounds of potatoes is only $4. A box of pasta was 98 cents. Other than that, it was a very standard grocery store, right? Like, it was just aisles full of canned goods, aisles full of a few beauty products and like care products. Something I did not like about Aldi though was they had these signs. What did they say? That really were promoting overconsumption in my mind. New this week. And then the other one after that said, here today, gone tomorrow. So I don't really like that kind of consumption that they're pushing on people. Also hard to judge. Like, I have to focus on the eco aspects. Just because I personally don't like Aldi doesn't mean that they're not eco-friendly. Eco-friendliness, 3.75. I think they're probably the most eco-friendly store we've talked about thus far. They're really focusing on green energy and eco-refrigerants. They've never used bags. And because their selection of items is pretty small, you might have to go to another grocery store, and that's just a waste of gas anyway, when you can just go to a store like Kroger or Meijer and get it all in one stop. But also, like, on a personal level, I like Aldi because it is so small. It's so easy to navigate, especially for someone who hates going into new grocery stores. I found everything very easily, and if I did miss something, it was like the next aisle over. It wasn't 17 aisles back. Aldi, pretty eco-friendly. I like that they are still a family-owned business. I love to support that and not a mega corporation. But their website also screams a bit of greenwashing. I don't think they're greenwashing. I think that they're doing good for the planet and good in the world. But I think that the way that they're conveying that on their website, it feels greenwashy to me. I think they just need to change their verbiage, put some statistics on their website, and be honest. Would I shop at Aldi again? Personally, no, just because they don't have everything that I need. As someone who eats mostly plant-based and also a lot of like ethnic foods, they have just mostly American foods. Their produce selection also wasn't that great, but I would recommend Aldi. So do with that information as you will. If you have not seen my videos yet on Meijer and Kroger, you can check them both out up here and down below. I'll pick the most commented grocery store to do next in this series. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I will see you in the next video, but until then, remember that your small actions make a big difference in the long run. Bye guys.